Good morning, everyone. How we doing? I want to do a video on, a reality that a lot of us in business, personal development can experience, and it's when thousands of dollars are going out the window on courses, and nothing's working. Nothing's working. I want to speak on my experience with that, and and how I've actually managed to get the most out of my coaching whenever I've paid for it. It's been, I've spent a fair bit of money and continue to spend a fair bit of money on coaching. I'm the coach myself, and there've been experiences where I've had some phenomenal mentors that I'm still in touch with these days, even though I don't hire them anymore. They're still close friends of mine. I have coaches currently that I get a tremendous amount of value from, and in reality, there have been those coaches that it just hasn't gone well with them. So I want to give you guys some insights into what I've seen work for myself, and also what I've seen out there. Because hand on heart, uh, when I was starting out in coaching many years ago, um, I had clients that didn't get anything out of doing coaching with me. There was probably two or three people that came into my one-on-one container early on, and it just didn't work. So I'll be sharing it from that lens too. So if you're in a scenario where you're spending thousands on, you want to learn how to sell, how to market, how to change your beliefs, um, you want to learn how to grow your investment portfolio if you're into property, whatever it is, there's this one misconception that I have seen really be damaging for a lot of people, including myself. And it's this thing of, and it can be very unconscious what I'm about to say here. It's this thing that the power is in the how, the strategy. It's not within me or you, right? And again, it sounds very simple. It's like, yeah, here you go, Jordan, fucking whoop-de-doo. Like, yeah, I knew that, but in practice, it's easily forgotten. So I'll give you a few examples. I remember um, when I had my first ever sales role, and I I was doing okay, but I wanted to increase my income, and I knew that. Well, I just heard from many people at the time, opening up what's going on here and freeing your body and your soul from these heavy emotions is really important. And at the time, I hired a DeMartini facilitator. His name's Emmanuel. Emmanuel, hello if you're watching this. And he was phenomenal. He was really, really cool. We broke through at the time some heavy emotions that were around things that I wasn't seeing, the like events that I wasn't seeing the other side of. This is probably back when I was about 22 years old, so good eight plus years ago now. And almost instantly, probably like within a week, my sales results like dramatically increased. It was very evident, and I always look back on that because never once did I go to Emmanuel going, well, he has something that I don't. Like, he has the power and I don't. He is going. What he has is going to lift me out of this place that is non-desirable anymore to get to this next place. And it wasn't like that. It was like, no, like I'm powerful. I know I can create. I know I can sell. There's a gap here. There's a gap, and I know that with Emmanuel's assistance, I will be able to create my next level of results. Okay, and again, it sounds very simple, but really, when you're under when you're under pressure, you got to check yourself what you're focused on, because I'll give you a very different example now where it didn't go well. So that went really well, and I continued to work with Emmanuel for about a year until I actually became a DeMartini facilitator myself, and then I didn't need his help anymore. But phenomenal journey with him. Later down the track, sales agency. There was two events here. So starting out, but before I had actually opened the sales agency, I jumped into this big mastermind, this marketing mastermind. Again, not mentioning any names, and was promised the world. And the stuff they were teaching was awesome. So I want you to remember throughout this whole video, every coach that I've worked with has been really good. they've been phenomenal. But what you'll hear is there's this common thread where I've just the way it started is essentially how it's ended. So like this company was fantastic. The expert, the lead coach was phenomenal. Gets a lot of great results with his clients. But I came in desperate. It was like, you have something that I don't, and I'm praying to God, I'm hoping that you can deliver the results for me. Okay. And you can probably guess how it went. It went fucking horrible. It was not good. But what that journey did, I was trying all the strategies and whatever, and the interesting thing about that time, the results, like, they started to come, but I'd find some way to sabotage it because it wasn't happening quick enough. So it was all about my orientation. It was like, I need results now. I'm desperate. And there was this timeline that I was even unconscious of. I don't know what it was, to be honest, but let's say, like, I need to see results within 2 weeks to get some quick cash in. And like, even though I remember there were things that I were doing, like running ads and whatever, that were getting results, I just need to stick at it. But because my orientation was one of panic, getting away from pain, and just desperate to get to safety financially, I sabotaged the whole thing. So that period didn't go well. But what it did do was it created a lot of tension in my life around my finances, which is where the agency was born. And then, I made a shit ton of money, and it wasn't an issue. And paid off the course with no problems. But that time, man, it was just, putting myself under the pump and putting the power in someone else other than me. Now, there was another time where I did this, and it was actually towards the end of my agency, where, again, I hired someone that was really and is really good at what he does, to generate more leads for my appointment setting agency. And, we did get more leads and we did get more clients. But once again, because I was desperate to get off the phones because throughout my whole agency, I was still on the phones. I was still a owner operator with my team. And because that wasn't happening fast enough, and because there was this desperation, everything this guy was telling me to do, it had started to bear some fruits, but I wasn't patient. It's like, no, fucking, I need it now. I need it now. And then, of course, at the time, I canceled, blamed the coach and everything. And it was just, I made it go that way. Right. So, I can give you a few other good examples when I've had coaches and it's gone really well. My current coaches, phenomenal. Like, they've, the power, because of the work that we do, because it's not like business advice and what have you, and it's more about getting bits of awareness that I can't see around my ego and around where I'm going with literally everything. They're not just people that are helping with me with my business. They're helping me with all areas. It's great because it doesn't, like, I literally can't put the power in them. It's just like, you guys are assisting me because you have knowledge and expertise and what have you, but the power's still got to be within me. And my new business, the way I write music now, the way I write my books, the way I go about my relationships just in general across the board has just dramatically improved. My health has improved. Like, I haven't ballooned out to high 90s and whatever. I've stayed in the 70s in terms of kilos. It's been great, right? And that's been because the power's been within me. And yeah, look, I could go on with other coaches that I had where it went well. So that gives you a bit of an idea, guys. Like, it sounds simple, but like, if you're putting the power in coaches to save you, to fix what you think is broken, it never goes well. And you'll think that the stuff doesn't work, that marketing's fucked, that sales is fucked, or that this modality's crap, or that, like, it's not true. It's that you're the way, the structure the motive you have that has gotten you to go and learn an ad script, or a funnel, or a course creating thing, or an NLP thing, or a sales thing, right? Because your motive is, I don't have the power in me to use this, and you need to, like, it's not you need to do it for me, but it kind of is, for a lot of people. Unconsciously, this is not something that I was conscious of, but over my time, I've seen that it's an unconscious thing that goes to people. It's like, please do it for me, please do it for me. And it's like, you don't do courses for that. You don't. Education is not, it's just not that. Like, if you have a look at the term way back when, in Latin, educare, I think it is, it literally means to draw from within, draw it out from within. I'm pretty sure I've got that right. And I believe this, and it's not just on us as clients, like, it's also how coaches decide to market their stuff. But this is where we need to be in our power, because it's like, if you allow yourself to get manipulated, and you enter the course within that structure, it's like, oh, my life's fucked, and they're up here and I'm down here. You won't apply it. But if you're in your power and you go, well, it's true for me to go and learn this. But regardless how much money this person's making, how much attention they get versus in comparison to me, it means nothing. Like, I'm just going to go. We're on the same level. I'm going to learn, and I'm going to apply, and I'm going to apply. So this actually brings me to my second part. So the first reason why it doesn't go well is, obviously, we put the power in other people, put ourselves in pits, them on pedestals. But the second thing is that, and I haven't had this because I love structure. I'm a structure nut. With music, with writing, with business, relationships, I love structure. I love structure. Okay, it's just so powerful. It's so powerful. But what I've seen is that a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. They have a negative relationship to structure. So I'll give you a few examples. When I had my sales agency, our best salespeople were people that loved working with structure. They could follow the script, they could learn it, and they're just like, God, this makes it so much easier. Okay. Then there were some people who were like, oh, I don't want to learn the script. I want to do it my way. I don't want to be robotic. I don't want to, I want to do it my way. And the thing is, when you do it your way, there's nothing wrong with that. But where does that come from? For me, when I have said that, because again, I love structure, but I still have this part of me that likes to be different. So particularly within music, I see this. In business, not as much, but in music, I'll start going, no, I want to just play the way I want to play on the piano, right? Now, again, when I was, more novice than I am now, there was this arrogance that I had. It's arrogance. This I want to call it like this arrogance because of what I didn't know. It was like what I knew I thought was the bee's knees, and there's just so much I didn't know, right? So I remember I was playing, and I'm at jam sessions, and a few people that like really knew music well. They were years ahead of me in terms of like practical knowledge of like chords and melodies and scales and all this stuff that I didn't know at the time. They'll kind of look at me and they go, man, that sounds really good, but like don't do it in this section. Don't play uh, arpeggio or the way you're doing it here. This is for lyrics and stuff. And for me, I was a bit offended. I'm like, listen, man, I was freestyling, it was sounding good. It's like it doesn't matter. You're going without structure and you're throwing everything else out. And that's what people do in business. It's just like, I want to do it my way and just friggin', sell how I want to sell. And I want to market and just, feel it in my body and be all manifestation and just hope that it comes. It's like that doesn't work. Okay. You focus on what you want and you definitely cultivate those emotions for sure. That yes, right. But take it a step further and use structure to support your creations. Like I'm telling you now, guys, structure is what channels all of that energy now, because I know when to play arpeggio and when to just hold down chords and stuff, and when to just keep it simple. That's something I'm still learning in music. It comes together and it sounds so much better in when I'm delivering sales presentations now. There was a period when I came back to coaching, right after my agency, where I just threw out all my scripts. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know about processes and frameworks. Nah, fuck it. I'm super conscious now. I'm going to focus. I'm going to feel, and I'm going to create. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But reality is, when you communicate and if it's not structured, all of the energy was just going everywhere. And people liked what I was saying, but there was no channeled effort. There was no not effort. There was no structure channeling my focus and my efforts towards making sales, generating leads, doing things that were actually going to grow my business. And the reality is that if you throw out, what I learned from that is, when you completely throw out structure, you're kidding yourself, because feeling good and all that stuff, it's not enough. It's not even about feeling good. You feel what you want to create, you feel the end result of that, you stay focused on it, you're being the person that's got the thing. Yeah, right. So it's a classic manifestation thing, but you got to put the structure in place. You got to be able to talk about people's problems, where they're at. You got to be able to talk about what they want. You got to be able to talk about that transition. Okay. But when you don't do it, because it's like, oh well, it's too hard. I don't want to be scripted. I'm not a salesperson, or I don't want to be pushy. Like what you're essentially saying, okay, is that you want it easy. You want what you love, but there's conditions. It's like you want it on your terms. And the reality is, it's not about us. Like, this is what I learned. I've got courses that I sell now that make money now. Thank God I got my structures, returned to my structures. I had to realize, like, Jordan, if you love this stuff enough, you will sell it with structure like you used to. And it was like, okay, all right, okay, it's not about me. So I had to, take my sorry ass back to what I was like. I'm done with it. I'm not going back there. Took it back. And immediately some results started to come in. Okay, so you want to be thinking, why do I reject structure? Why do I want to do it my own way? Is it because you want to feel better during the creative process? For a lot of people, what I've seen, and I'll just bring it back to myself as well here, it was that I wanted the journey to signing more clients, generating more leads, music, creating the music. I wanted it to feel nicer. Okay. I want the distance between where I was and the end result. I wanted it to feel nicer. And I'll tell you right now, though it felt nicer, the end result was worse. That's not a word, but it wasn't as powerful. But I'll tell you now, when I apply structure to everything that I'm doing, it doesn't always feel um like, it's not doom and gloom, and it doesn't always feel great. But man, when that thing hits the end result, I fucking know it. And it's like, oh, it's so good. Right. Because so this morning I just it's not finished yet, but it's almost finished. I just finished this new piece with the orchestra, the piano, and all these other instruments that I'd never used before. And I was using structure. And man, there was this last bit on the keys. that was a little tough for me to play because there was just so much happening with the cello, flutes, and strings. And I'm going, right, man, you got to go with this. And it took me about 45 minutes to nail just this one piece, though I had practiced it. And it didn't feel great because I'm like, oh, I made a mistake. Fuck, I missed that. I missed that particular space. And if you play with multiple instruments on the computer, you'll know, right? So it's no, 45. And when I finally nailed it and I heard it, I'm like, that's what I was going for. Right? That structure. It was channeling that energy. And it's like I was going for something. I was going for, and we got there. We got there. Right. I'll give you another example. Last example here. Saturday, gave a presentation to a group, and it was a masterclass to deliver some value, deliver some awareness, but there was a structure that I was using because I wanted to sell something at the end. Now, throughout that whole masterclass, I stayed focused on my end result. It wasn't to make sales, like it was, but that was a byproduct of what I was teaching, right? And there was a framework that I was teaching it with. And I just stayed on my structure, right? I stayed on my structure. It's like, okay, Jordan, continue to drop in here, drop in there into certain sections of your presentation. And surely enough, when it all ended, 25% of the people that were on the group call signed up. And it's like, oh, fuck, great. And it's like, it didn't feel good the whole time. Like it was fast moving and I was covering stuff and whatever. And it was like, oh, this is feeling the way it used to. Tension, what's going to happen here? At the end, I got the result that I wanted. And it was like, okay, structure. Okay. So let's round it off there, guys. I really wanted to record this because if you're spending all this money and you're like, I'm not getting what I want, the coaching industry's fucked. It's like, no. The coaching industry is a great thing. It's not fucked. Okay. The way consumers go into coaching is fucked. Now, again, it's also on how coaches market and sell. Yes. All right. But hey, we're powerful people. We can choose before we go in there. Who's got the power here? All right. And it's not putting the coach in the pit and going, I got my eyes on you. Don't you fucking screw me over. Okay. Don't do that. But when it's like, no, like I have the power. I can create whatever I want in my life as long as I put my attention on it. And am I hiring this person because they have some knowledge that I could benefit from, and if I use it, it's going to further my creations, or am I hiring this person because I'm assuming they are more powerful than me? And it's just, if you're coming from that second thing, it's complete bullshit. Okay, don't buy into that because you are. I don't even need to tell you this. I feel a bit stupid. Those people that's like, you are powerful. Remember that. I don't even need to tell you. Somewhere deep down, you know that this is true. You know that you're powerful. It's there. Okay, and if you just assume that, you'll get a lot more bang for buck from your coaches. Cool. All right, that's it from me. Hope you guys are well. And yeah, I don't have anything to offer you at this time. Just hang out here, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, comment if you've been through your own journey with coaches, share your experience. If it's similar to mine, would love to hear. And I'll be back when I have more to share. All right, guys, have a good week. Chat soon.